on a space mission. It looks like maybe investigating Mars or whatever. And I'm back in Connecticut. I'm actually currently in my parents' kitchen right now. So if you hear some stuff in the background, please excuse the noise. But we're here to talk NFL Week 9. We're officially halfway through the season, which is incredible. Just to think how fast this season has gone by. Had some big trades, with today being the NFL trade deadline. We'll get into that. Of course, we'll react to the Bills' huge win against the Chiefs. We'll talk about the Packers' absolute um, disgusting loss against the Panthers and Lambeau and everything in between. But before we jump into that stuff, you already know the drill. If you're not already subscribed to Infamously Speaking on YouTube, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button, follow the show on social media, TikTok, Instagram. And if you're listening on podcast format, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast, please subscribe to the show. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a rating. Everything helps the show grow. Um, so we can continue to put content out just like this. Before we jump in everything, Quan, how you feeling, man?
Take me to the moon. I feel good, man. I feel a little tired, if I'm being honest, but I feel excited to talk football with you, especially since your Chiefs lost. I mean, Chiefs lost.
Chiefs is crazy.
What else? I know a lot of trades happened. I was pretty busy today, so I kind of recapped them a few minutes ago. I see some big names, but I think that's I feel like with some of the big names that were traded, people are gonna realize they may not have been as good as they were made out to be. I know there's a name on there that
Absolutely.
you definitely feel that way with.
You got that right. You got that right. I think maybe we should start there. Let's start there because that's the freshest news. So the big moves of the NFL trade deadline were made by the Jets, sending Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts for Adonai Mitchell and two first round picks, and then them sending Quinnen Williams to Dallas Cowboys for Mozzie Smith, a first round in the 2027 draft, and a second rounder in this coming 2026 NFL draft. Uh, I'll start with the Colts. I think this was a great trade for the Jets. To be honest with you, not because I enjoy watching the Jets. Well, I guess enjoy is not the right word to use, but I watch the Jets. But just because anytime you can get two second round picks and then Adonai Mitchell, who was a first round pick by the Colts, I believe not this past draft, but the draft before it, who clearly has a lot of talent, just hasn't had a whole bunch of opportunity. And when he does, he drops the ball and costs his team the game. But you're getting a lot of value back. And from the Sauce perspective, Indy's perspective, I know a lot of Indiana fans looking at that are probably hyped because of Sauce's first 2 years in the league. Of course, defensive rookie of the year. He was all pro first team, first 2 seasons in the league, was pro bowler. But if you look at Sauce over the last couple of years, his plays declined. Now, some of it's due to injury, but a lot of it's due to the fact that he's not getting away with some of the stuff he was getting away with in his first 2 seasons. And this is just me being objective, watching the Jets every single week. If you look at just the stats and what Sauce is allowed to give up, his quarterback rating when being targeted has gone up every single year from 62.7 in his rookie season all the way up to 98.1 this year. Also, giving up the most yards per completion in his career at 17.3. You have to think about it like this. Yes, Sauce was an incredible talent, and hopefully he bounces back and enjoys better success in Indy. But the Jets defense was terrible with him on it. And it's not like he wasn't getting torched. So I think this was a good move for the Jets. You're 1-8 with him on it. You can't possibly be worse, right? And now you get to kind of reload. Now, granted, who knows what the Jets do with those picks? The Jets are in that franchise, but I like that move for the Jets moving on from Sauce and trading him to contender. Curious what your thoughts on that are.
Too much sauce. My thoughts about Sauce Gardner. I agree with you. I think you put a lot of stats out there that people may overlook because you hear the name Sauce Gardner and know what he was what he did, right? As a rookie, like you said, in the following year. Um, there was clearly a drop off though. My thing is, who did? I know the Colts just got smoked. Who they lose to?
They lost to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Do you feel like they felt like because of the loss they needed um that corner to put them over the top? And do I feel like you don't feel like that even helps them get over the top.
I mean, if we come away from that game, your biggest concern is Daniel Jones reverting to the Giants. Daniel Jones, right? Five
Yeah,
total turnovers
five
by him.
turnovers. Yeah, yep.
Their defense actually played well. I mean, to give up five turnovers, I think the score is 27-20, if I'm not mistaken. They were in the game still, so it wasn't like their defense was their problem. Now, if they felt like cornerback 2 or 1B was a dire need, and you had the opportunity to address it, then sure. But I feel like the Jets really made out with this trade. Like I said, the two first rounders, but then also, um, you know, who knows what Adonai Mitchell could be? He was a first round talent. So, um, yeah, but
Well,
definitely
he ain't
didn't
gonna
take
be
away. Hey,
anything
the
with
Colts.
Justin Fields there.
That's a good point.
Um, but yeah, I mean, he definitely has talent, right? Um, I do also like the fact that the Jets was like finally was like, fuck it, we're
Fuck
gonna
it. Yep.
rebuild. It's
Yes.
clearly working for the great Patriots over there in our division rival. Um, so I
That's
respect
all right.
that. I do respect that. I don't think this puts the Colts in your top three, like you had them. So,
Oh no,
uh,
no, nope.
yeah, we'll get to
I
that.
appreciate you.
I'm
Listen,
gonna remind you how you had the Colts number two, but
listen. Listen, no, they're actually number one. Listen, if there's anything
they were number
I
one.
know you're, if there's anything I know you're good for, is keeping me accountable. So I
All right,
appreciate
cool.
you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
The other move was Quinn Williams, who's been phenomenal since he's entered the league. I think this was a great trade for Dallas, just because the player that they got back. I thought it was strange, and what when you went to pull the trigger and get him, the fact that I believe they're 3-5-1, like, does this save you? Does this help your chances of getting into the playoffs?
No,
No, not really. Especially after what we saw yesterday. I know you saw it because you watch every Marvin Harrison Jr. snap where he absolutely routed up Deron Bland in the end zone. That
way to
doesn't fix
fall.
that issue. I mean, it might help that people are gonna have to get the ball out quicker because he can generate pressure or at least command double teams. But yeah, I thought it was a great trade because he's a great player, but not necessarily. I didn't understand the timing of it because it's not like they were going to do anything this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree on that as well. I'm trying to disagree, but like you said, we just got to use logic sometimes.
True,
Phenomenal player, phenomenal player. I think what I
absolutely.
want to see most is him uh, disabling the tush push more than anything. Uh, other than that, like you said, I think the Cowboys don't have a shot anyways, and it's gonna take
No,
more than just one player to get them relevant, in my opinion. But a phenomenal player, and I think I think Jerry Jones makes moves sometimes because he knows he's going to have to, otherwise he's gonna face scrutiny the whole season. But sometimes he really don't care, so it's like a toss up. But I don't get the move either with the timing.
yeah, timing was a little weird for them. Lil C White 5 in the chat. Jaden Daniels' recent Instagram story tells the season's over and will likely have to have surgery. Yeah, we'll get to that Sunday night game where the Seattle Seahawks absolutely cooked the Commanders and why Dan Quinn decided to
Who
leave
said that?
Jaden Daniels in that game. Little C White 5. Um, Terrible though. Terrible injury. Didn't look good. Obviously, I believe it was a dislocation of his elbow, his non-throwing arm, but still. Um, Other moves from the trade deadline. I know Philly was active. bringing in Jalen Phillips from Miami, which I thought was a great addition for them. Bringing in Michael Carter from the Jets in exchange for Mechie and I think some late round pick swaps. I think that is a good addition for that secondary where we both were talking about that's an area of opportunity for them. And then they made a trade for Jari Alexander from the Ravens, who, I mean, that's who knows? Maybe he'll be all right. I'm probably
Well,
washed
it's
case,
funny
but
because I was high on him when he went to the Ravens. Remember?
yeah,
And
I
then
do
the
remember that.
Ravens defense was atrocious, and I was like, damn, I messed that one
Awful.
up. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take
their whole
accountability.
defense has been. But other than that, not really a super splashy trade deadline. Um, which I mean, just tells you that most teams feel like they were going to be. They feel like they're all set. I was surprised that, like you said earlier before we started recording, the Pats didn't make a move to maybe try to get edge rusher. Um,
Yeah, I would have loved the edge rusher. More so, I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, Shaheed," and a lot of wide receiver talks, but the wide receivers been playing. The offense been rolling. Sometimes when you
yeah, that's not
add
a problem.
you add a distraction of some sort in the room. I'm not saying that they necessarily were going to be, but it had potential when everything's clicking. I will say it might have made sense with Booty, but I think this is now when Chisholm turns up. If Chisholm gets his opportunity, I'm telling you that is a football player. He is a football player. Look, for those who don't know, Chisholm broke Cooper Cup's record in college. And you're gonna tell me Cooper Cup wasn't good? We
My bad. I
lost
was just
him.
checking the audio. No, I mean I'm just checking the audio, making sure everything's good on the YouTube stream. Yeah, keep going. Ask the question again. My bad.
No, it was just like it was a rhetorical question about Chisholm breaking Cooper Cup's record. And are you gonna tell me Cooper Cup's not good? So it's a rhetorical question, but
Oh yeah.
it's
Yo, I
really
know you've been
about
high on them since they got him, really, since like rookie camp.
yeah,
So
no, for sure. I'm telling you, when he gets his opportunity, because he's gonna get an opportunity, you're gonna be like, yeah, this guy should have been playing. But sometimes you gotta pay your dues, and when it's your opportunity, you gotta capitalize.
yeah, absolutely. You brought up Shaheed. That's one that I missed. I think that's a phenomenal trade for Seattle. Um, Someone to really stretch the field vertically, while JSN, who, by the way, right now this season is on, definitely hands down been the best receiver in football. Now you got a vertical threat that just unlocks the offense even more. And Horton had a great game against the Commanders too. So now you have Horton and JSN, and you throw Shaheed into the mix, and Barner's been getting looks as well. And Arroyo caught their other tight end caught his first NFL touchdown. Man, that Seattle offense is operating at a high level. The only question is when it comes to the big game, how's Sam Darnold going to play? Right? And unfortunately, you can't really answer that until they get into some of these pressure situations. But I believe they play the Rams this week, so that'll be a good kind of mid-season test to see. Hey, this is a big game. Obviously, winner will be in first place um, in the NFC West and really have a good command of that. But what do you think about that Shaheed edition to Seattle?
No, I think it's phenomenal. I think it opens it up. I think it sucks for those who went and got Horton off the waiver wire, or more than likely the waiver wire. Um, but then again, it don't, because if they got him, they probably played him, and that was the game to play him. Shahid's a phenomenal down the field player. He's gonna be able to stretch the field and let Jason do what he does. Well, I could have swore it was you, and maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but the question that came up, and I'm pretty sure it was you. Now I think about it even more. Egbuka or JSN, who's having a better year? Well, it's not a
What did I say?
question at this point.
It was me, and I don't remember what I said
You said
now. I might have
Egbuka.
said Abuka because of the
You did.
touchdowns.
You did.
Um, Man, Jason, he's been special.
I know that. You know what? Week 9 was probably my favorite week. Now that I think about it, It
Why?
just discredited everything you've been talking about for the last 9 weeks.
Yeah, this was a tough one. Well, I think, yeah. Well, once we get into the power rankings, it was a rough week last week. It was definitely a rough week last week, but we can admit when we was wrong. We can admit when we was wrong. I got no problem doing that. Um, nah, man, Jason, that his development has been incredible, and really the instant chemistry. But you called it out earlier. I think even before we actually got into the season. You talked about it because you referenced this when it came to Puka Nakua, which was being able to work with Cooper Cup, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, obviously, that addition into the wide receiver room, not just on the field, but what he can do for the younger receivers in the room, and you could just tell that JSN's game has gone to a completely different level this year. And Sam Darnold's been playing at an extremely high level too. So credit to Sam as well. But that was a good
Not
call
for
out
real,
by
because
you early in the season.
I appreciate that. But yeah, credit to Sam Darnold because we both weren't convinced that was the right move, and we still could be right because it's like what Dante said, right? Like you could have a great season. He proved he could have a good season, but just like you referenced about 5 minutes ago, what happens when you get to that big game? And if you have a good season, you lose and you're one and done, it doesn't really matter at all. Fantasy purposes, I'm sure you'll get some shine, but not when it comes to the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess, and again, that's the question, right? That is the question, and I think that's why. Like, if you had to pick who you feel is going to win the NFC West, right? I feel like at least I would lean the Rams just because I trust Stafford. I've seen him perform in situations, big time situations. Whereas Sam Darnold last year, he had multiple opportunities, and we seen him fold. So um, that's really going to be kind of this is their opportunity because they have an elite defense. They have an elite defense. Obviously, a great
Yo,
receiving core. Yep.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it just
No, you're
played in
good.
my head. How do you feel about Sam Darnold? What he said, um, he's got to play with JSN and Jay Jettas, and JSN is 10 times better.
I think that's a I think that's a crazy take, to be honest with you, because Jay Jettis is incredible, man. But
Um, not so. Just
you're gonna hype
disclaimer.
up your guy. You're gonna hype up your guy.
Just a disclaimer. He didn't really say that. Matt was getting on me because I shared so much fake news that I figured I'd make up my own while I'm here. While I'm
That's
here.
crazy. I should have fact checked you too, because that sounded fake.
But
I
yeah.
shouldn't have trusted you. That's
But no, if he did
disrespectful.
say that, I think he was right on the money. Like you gotta hype up your guy. Can't go against him.
You have to, but I mean,
But at the
that
same
was a
time, you gotta be
crazy
real.
ass
That's why I
take.
tell you all the time. Like you have a lot of room for improvement. Oh man.
Yeah, no, son.
Uh
Listen,
for,
listen. I
for
was
those who I think they could tell, Matt, just so you know, like the chemistry is always good, right? When we talk and we have these, but it's even better now that you're in town. And then I know you're like a drive away if I really need to have a conversation with you. But I'm happy that you're in town, man. It's good seeing you and watching some of the games with
yeah,
you
it
and
was
your
great.
dad.
It was great. It was even better that we actually didn't watch too much of the games, right? We was just bullshitting, talking, catching up. But
nah, actually,
even
your
even during
dad
the
has the best nickname for JSN.
yeah, we'll let him share that if he joins the show. I'm not gonna take his shine from him. I'm not gonna take his shine from him. Um, some other stuff in week 9, real quick to talk about. Obviously we had a commenter in the chat called the Jaden Daniels injury, which is just devastating, terrible. Because we seen what happened when Washington had an exciting young quarterback who had injuries kind of derail things. So hopefully that's not the case for JD. Um, but it's just terrible to see. And I and Obviously Dan Quinn was gutted. If you listen to that post game press conference, where he's like, "That's on me." There's no reason why he should have really been in there. Um, I just don't. I don't know if there's a. I mean, obviously the hindsight is 2020 pulling JD from the game there. Um, I just feel like stuff like this is gonna make people maybe pull players from games, and then we won't have the opportunity to see miraculous comebacks like we saw in Denver against the Giants. Right, like if Sean Payton were to pull his guys, now the flow of the game was completely different, so you gotta have a feel of it. But when you're down, when you're down big, when do you call it quits in the NFL? I guess is the big question that I have. Like, when do you just
That's
say, "All right, we're
tough.
gonna wave the white flag"?
That's that's so tough because it's so everybody's a competitor, really. That's on that field and off the field on the sidelines. So it's easy in hindsight to be like, yeah, it should have been out the game. But realistic, I remember, I remember this being reported where the Patriots were up big and they wanted to send in. I don't remember who it was at the time, but they wanted to send the second stringer in to nail the ball down. And Brady's like, go sit the fuck down. Like, I'm finishing this game. And it wasn't really to like demoralize the guy or anything. He's like he's a competitor. He just wants to be on the field regardless. Um, so that's a tough question. I think that you also do have to play it smart, right? You can't risk injuring your franchise quarterback, especially uh, when that franchise is in despair if he's not there. So it's tough, but at the same time, I can't put the blame on Derek. I can't put it on him because you know what? You know what's actually kind of ironic, and I swear on everything. When we was watching some of that game, if you watch right, look back at that game. A lot of times when JD would go down, like whether he was sliding or scrambling, he would tend to put his arm out. I'm like, he's gonna get his hand. I thought his hand might get stepped on or some sort, or like messed up his wrist a little bit. It, not what he actually did because that was pretty gnarly. But I kept saying, why does he keep putting his arm out like that? It doesn't make sense. Like, what quarterback falls with his arm out like that is beyond me. But I think that we talk about this whether it's sports or anything. It's like sometimes things happen for a reason. All things do happen for a reason. So maybe I didn't see Washington doing anything this year, anyways. Maybe this gives them some time to reflect and get their shit together for next season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely a disappointing way for the season to go after all the optimism of last season, reaching the NFC Championship game. You're thinking that you're only going to get better with another year, JD. I know you called a little bit of regression, at least from a fantasy
Yeah,
perspective,
that's why
but
I didn't take him anywhere.
but
Think
I
about
think,
all the people who took JD. He's sick right now.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. But to your point, I mean, they just had so many injuries. Obviously, Eckler goes down early, McLaurin, now the whole contract dispute, and then coming into camp and him getting hurt. Um, yeah, it's just terrible stuff. Um, Tucker Craft getting hurt. I believe I'm
Mm.
not sure if they confirmed it, but I believe it's a feared to be a torn ACL, serious knee injury, of course, and he was their best pass catcher or most consistent pass catcher
Did
for
you see the
sure on that team.
Dobbs interview?
No, I didn't.
They're like the comments were like, bro, he tore his ACL. He didn't pass away because it was like mad. It was mad sad. Like he was like, I would have wished this upon my ops, all kinds of stuff. He's like, I would have wished this upon my worst enemy. It was like you're gonna be able to see him tomorrow, buddy.
Nah,
Um,
listen, man, I get it though. Like shit, bro, that's one of your best players, and that's a gruesome injury to recover from. So,
yeah.
um, man, that really hurts Green Bay, and you'll see it reflected in the power rankings later. But look, while we're on the subject of Green Bay, let's talk about that game real quick. That was horrendous. That was horrendous by Green Bay.
I called it.
Horrendous by Green Bay. Yeah, you did. You did. You did. I know it was a week ago since we last recorded. So I had to make sure. I had to go back to the archives to make sure. But I'm pretty sure you mentioned something like that.
I might have been a week early, but I still called it.
And the thing is, like the Panthers defense balled out for sure. Rico Dowdle's a savage, no doubt about that. But they had no passing attack to speak of, and they were still able to. Number one, credit Bryce Young for the game-winning drive, right, getting them down the field after the Packers tied it, kick a field goal, and the defense to hold. But I think this is the question that we have about Green Bay. And I know Packers fans get sensitive when you talk about Jordan Love because the Packers at that point, what, they were 5-1-1, I believe, right? Going into that game, and you're like, wow, he's played great. Like the Cleveland game was bad against a bad Cleveland team. And this game was terrible against I can't say a bad Panthers team. Same record as the Chiefs, 5-4. With some impressive
Mm,
wins. With some impressive wins
mm.
under the belt. So, um, but this was awful, especially because Detroit loses. Which that we can get to that game in a second. That was a tough loss for Detroit, but the opportunity to gain more ground, separate yourself from the pack there. And Chicago wins. Yeah, now you have a bunch of teams with 5 wins in the NFC North. Um, and this should have been a layup game at home.
No, I think when you said your rankings, I did say like I Love's just so inconsistent, bro. He's good for that one throw to the flat, and let's Kraft do the work. Right, he had 140 something. Remember when we talked about that? And I was like, he has 140 yards after the catch. It's crazy. Um, and it's kind of sickening to think that, um, with a team they're pretty solid all around, right, in all three phases. But the the most important position is just he's not consistent, and I think what bothers Packers fans and people fans of the Packers, or Love, is that you see the potential at moments. You've seen him have some pretty big games. You just mentioned it actually prior to that, where he went 20 completions in a row or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, bro, that's great. But when he's throwing 3 yards on the field, I mean, I hope he can get 20 completions as a professional quarterback. Um, I don't see them doing anything either, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I mean the play just needs to lock in. I mean, what the defense played a great game. I mean, I think Bryce Young had a quarterback rating under 50. Um, yeah, just unexplainable loss at home by Green
Quarterback
Bay,
rating under 50 is crazy.
and to still win. I mean,
Still
Bryce Young
win.
went 11 for
And
20, 102 yards, 102 yards. Now Rico Dowdle cooked 25 for a buck 30 and 2 touchdowns. But
you know what that reminds me of?
disgusting.
The Eagles. It's
Um,
clearly a winning formula.
run the shit out of the ball.
It does. Just run the ball. Realistically, that's how football was played 20 years ago. Just
That's
run the
fact.
ball, pound the rock, make the defense tired,
Run
and
the
run
shit
all
out of the
over them
ball.
in the
Hope for the
second half.
best.
But it became such a passing league, and they wanted it exciting, which I understand. But that was the formula. Think about the great running backs that played in Super Bowls, right? Or Super Bowl wins the bus. Your Brandon Jacobs and
Brandon
was it
Jacobs.
Bradshaw?
Yep.
Was it
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw? Yeah.
Yep.
Um, Blunt, Blunt for us. Even the running back for the Falcons when we came back when we was down 28-3. Was it Freeman?
Was it Deontay Freeman?
Yeah, it was. It has a recipe for success. Maybe the
Foreman.
Panthers will
Rosa
make it.
Foreman.
Foreman, I
Nah,
think it was Foreman.
Deontay Foreman. Yeah. I mean, it's. Look, we talked about it when they were 4-3 after week 7, and now look at them 5-4 after week 9. Like you got to be ecstatic if you're a Panthers fan. You're
Yeah,
stacking some some good wins for a young team, right? Beating Dallas, even though they're a down team, but you expect big underdogs in that game. And now going into Lambeau, signature win. That's a signature
No,
win for a young team.
that's a big win. Yo, do you remember that? Do you remember that video that surfaced for the Panthers owner? It was
Which
like
one?
I want to say it was like 2 years ago. He went into the restaurant, and I guess the restaurant owner had a sign like get rid of the GM or the owner because he wasn't doing anything with the Panthers, and he was on
Oh, I don't
video
remember that.
like confronting the restaurant owner.
That's crazy. No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I gotta find that
Wow.
video for you.
Panthers fans used to pray for times like this. Man,
Yo,
what a big win for the Panthers, man.
what's your power rankings? I can't wait to hear your power
Power
rankings.
rankings. Let's talk a couple
I'll be
more games.
honest.
We'll
The
get into
first
power
power
rankings.
rankings was good. The
The last
second
one was
power
trash.
rankings was ass, and
It was
I told
ass.
you I told you the first one was good. I gave you your credit.
I
The
know.
second
I
one
was.
made absolutely no sense and was horrendous. So
I
I'm
was.
curious on where you go from there.
I was. I was. I was a little drunk off of power after a good week. But don't worry, you'll see. You'll see. Humble Matt is back and is back, putting in the work in the lab. Um, real quick,
There
I
was
want to
one more.
talk.
I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I know we said we are gonna talk Lions, Vikings. JJ McCarthy looked pretty good in that game. Tough loss for the
Yeah,
Lions at home though.
3 touchdowns. One to Hawkinson, one to Jay Jettas in a rush. He didn't have a lot of
That's good.
passing yards, but got the job done.
Listen, the rushing is a big part of it. I mean, we see that's a been a big part of Jackson Dart's success so far in the league. Listen, whenever you can, it's tough for defenses to account for quarterbacks, and so that's going to be a big part of the game. You got the weapons on the outside. Defense played well too. Um, I know Dante. When shout out Dante, we had him on the show. He was like a bunch of names that really do stuff. Where they showed up. They showed up again in Detroit Sunday. That's a big win for the Vikings to keep pace. You know, they're 4-4. Everybody else in the NFC North got 5 wins. But let's talk about the game that a lot of people had their eyes on, which was Chiefs at Bills. I'm curious what your thoughts and takes on this game was, and then I'll give my thoughts and my take on the game.
Um, I don't have much thoughts. I think that the Bills still suck, and I think the Chiefs aren't as good as you make them out to be. And I
I
think that
think
this game, I mean, it matters because of the records and stuff, but it doesn't matter if they were to face off in the playoffs, which I know is big for you. And that's
yeah. So
probably
I'm
gonna.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah. I think we mostly agree on it, which was I think the Bills. Now, granted, Josh Allen played phenomenal. I'm not going to take away from that. James Cook looks like he's back on track from how he started this season, which is going to be big for the Bills if they want to continue to rattle off wins. Here's my biggest takeaway from that. So statistically, this was one of Mahomes' worst games, if not his worst game of his career, at least from a completion percentage wise, under 50% for the first time ever. Josh Allen had his highest pass percentage completion rate, and they only won by 7. The Bills only won by 7 in Buffalo. That's why come playoff time, also the Bills dominate the Chiefs. I think they're 5-1 in the Josh Allen and Mahomes era against the Chiefs in the regular season. Um, so it's the second game against these teams, which will happen in the playoffs, which will really matter for me. But if I'm Buffalo, obviously feel good about a win. But Mahomes plays terrible, Josh Allen plays great, and you only win by 7 in Buffalo.
yeah.
I'm feeling all right.
So I get what you're saying,
I'm
and
feeling all right.
I agree with you probably about 25 to 30% on that. And I was big
Yeah.
on no, serious. I was big on that. Like, oh, they didn't dominate them, or the game was close and it shouldn't have been. But at the end of the day, you lose by 1 point or 20 points, you're still packing your bags, right? So,
No, that's fact.
I get it, But who's to say that don't happen next, right? I mean, I wouldn't put my money on it, but
Mm-hmm.
it can potentially go down the same exact way. Do I
Fair.
think that happens? No, I don't. I think it's back to what we said with Josh Allen. It's like you have Josh Allen, and then you have a bunch of other people. The other thing, though, I'm actually surprised that the Bills didn't go out and get like a wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even a Rashid Shaheed would help you if he was up for grabs.
Especially
Josh
like
Allen
Josh
got an
Allen got an
arm.
arm. Yeah, exactly.
That,
Guy's good.
come on, man. Come on, I know what I'm talking about a little bit, at least a
Oh
little
my
bit.
goodness.
So that was my big takeaway from that game. I know. I mean, I'm sure that game has been analyzed to by everybody. Everybody's giving a take, but
I just got
that's how I
all
feel
right.
about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. We don't gotta dwell on that game. But I do have a question for you.
Hmm.
And be honest, which I think you will be anyways. But don't be biased, I'll say. Is there quarterback controversy in Arizona?
Hell yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. How could there not be? In fact, I just saw they're benching Kyler Murray, and they're saying I know the head coach Jonathan Gann was like, "Well, we're gonna wait, let him get 100%." But if there was, we know that if you're the no doubt starter, the moment the doctor's like, "Yeah, he's good to play," you're gonna play, right? You're gonna play. There's no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is, Jonathan Gannon knows that the Arizona Cardinals offense is better with Jacoby Brissett on the field. Period. We've seen it.
Expatriate. Expatriate.
3 weeks. It hasn't been 3 or 4 weeks now that we've seen it. The offense just looks better. And we talked about it. Part of it could be that Jacoby's not scared to let the ball rip. He's not scared to give Marvin Harrison Jr. a chance, to give Trey McBride a chance, right? Where it seems like, and we're not Kyler Murray, we're not going to, we can't dive into the mind of Kyler Murray, but there's times where it seems like if it's
I
not
might be able to.
surefire, if it's not surefire, or he's not going to let the ball go. The only time where it's like it wasn't surefire is when he had to throw it up with the Hail Murray play, right? To DeAndre Hopkins, right, where he's like, I just gotta let it go.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
they've looked better. They've looked 100. I mean, you have to. At this point, you're coaching for your job. Your team is capable. You've been in a lot of close games. Brissett gives you a better chance to win. I wouldn't even call it controversy at this point. I'm like, listen, this guy gives us the best chance to win. That's why he's playing. Fuck the injury shit. Stop being political. That's
All
no
right.
bias, by the way. I know how
No,
you
it's
feel.
fine.
How you?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say how you feel.
How do I feel? I feel like Arizona is finally doing something right. Um.
That route by Marv is nasty, by the way.
Oh, disgusting. Even CD Lamb. You see CD Lamb's reaction?
Yeah, he was like, oh, shit.
Yo, how do you feel if you're his teammate?
That's where you just like, yo, that's where you go over, but yo, just keep your head up, man. Forget
No,
that
what if
play.
you're the
Keep moving.
guy who fell and got smoked in the route?
Oh, if I'm him, I'm like faking an injury. I'm faking an injury.
Nah.
Like I'm grabbing my
You just
calf.
gotta own that, bro. You gotta own that.
Nah, not like that, bro. I'm grabbing my calf. I'm like
Bro,
rolling
that
over. Like,
route cooked him so that route that cooking was just it was very similar to your rankings.
what? Just absolute
Yeah, yeah, say it.
trash.
Yeah,
Trash.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Shit, bro. This guy ain't gonna
But
let
you
me
took
live, man.
accountability.
Let me live.
You took
Fuck, let me
you're
live,
taking
bro.
accountability.
Let me live. Actually, two more games I want to talk about. I want to talk about Patriots Falcons, of course. Um, Patriots go up big early. Falcons battle back. A couple takeaways from the game. Even though it wasn't a perfect game by May, like we've starting to kind of get accustomed to. Still obviously did enough for them to win. Drake London is incredible. He's a savage. He is a savage. That connection with Penix is something special. Um, I feel fine about the Patriots. There's literally no concern there.
Yeah, I do
Um,
too. I mean, the turnovers got to be limited, right?
yeah,
It's very hard to win when you're the one putting the team at demise. But Drake still had a solid game, and people forget the Falcons' pass defense was ranked number one.
top rated. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Atlanta is what is confusing in this whole scenario because they'll play like that and then they'll play like absolute dog shit and lose to the Panthers 30-0. You know what I mean? Like Atlanta is the
Yeah.
team that I'm confused about. Um, but I thought that was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game, and Drake London is a star.
Well, yeah, I knew Drake London was a star. I think what's phenomenal is the Patriots. I think it was every game so far. How the opposing running back less than 50 yards. Last
Is
time
that
that
right?
happened, yeah. I mean, there was a few people that have 49, like James Cook. There was someone else. I forgot who it was. But the last time that happened, guess who was at the big dance?
Yeah. Well,
Guess
there's still
who's
some
going to be
time to go
listening to
there.
Bad Bunny at halftime? Mm-hmm.
I
Gonzo.
mean, Drake still had a quarterback rating of 102, regardless of the fumble and the pick. So, um, and that fumble was a tough one too because like the rusher and I forget his name, so forgive me. I got a clear shot at him, so he didn't have a
Talk
whole lot of
about
time to
clear
react.
shots. Did you see the clear shot on Brisket on that play action pass? Bro,
Yeah, he got he got lit up.
sometimes, yeah, you do the play action and then you roll to the opposite side, and it's your blind side really because you're faking the handoff. He literally ran right into he got smoked. I was surprised he actually made it out of
Smoke.
that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we kind of went off of the Drake
No,
thing back to the
he's
Cardinals,
he's
but
used to that though. That's why I call him brisket. Barbecues, slow roasted.
slow roasted. Man, that
All right,
sounds good, man.
last game I want to kind of talk about, and that's just because um, I don't think Sammy's watching, but we gotta give him flowers, right? Pittsburgh,
I
um,
figured he's gonna
what
bring up the Steelers.
winning 27-20. Listen, man, I still think the Steelers are not great. This is similar to the Patriots game. You create a shit ton of turnovers, and still yet you win by 7. Now, granted, I know that Indy scores a touchdown late to bring in, so it really wasn't a 7-point game, even though that was the final score. But they're another team where you're like, man, how good are they really? How good are they really? Like the defense is on, but the offense really is. Like you're like, wow, they scored 27. By five turn. I think it was six actually. I think
It
five of
was
them were by
six.
Daniel
Five was
Jones.
Daniel Jones. Six turnovers.
Six turnovers, 27 total points. No, shout out to Indianapolis defense, of course. But come on now. We're not celebrating that. Obviously, a win's a win. So you celebrate the win. Six turnovers, 27 points. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Out of here,
Well,
man.
I told you, beginning of the year, Tomlin just always finds a way to win. He does.
One
There's
and
no
done.
way people
One and
thought
done.
the
Big
Steelers,
week for them though.
because we talked about it, like the Steelers could lose almost every game going forward after before the Colts game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I thought they was gonna lose for sure. I mean, credit to them for pulling up an upset and beating a team that was flying high. Stopped the running game too. Neutralize only team to neutralize Jonathan Taylor like that, which was impressive. TJ Watt is an absolute savage.
Well,
Everybody knew
that's what
that.
I was gonna say. Is like when you can start neutralizing the main threat, it makes the game that much more difficult for that team. Think about
That
we just were talking about the Falcons. Now, granted, Drake London had a hell of a game, But you rather Penix have to throw the ball and beat you that way than have Bijan cooking you all game. So
Absolutely.
in that situation, right, it's like pick your poison. But even with the Colts, I felt like it was a similar situation. It was like pick your poison. Who do you want to beat you? Daniel Jones, who we know can, you know, be a less than average quarterback at times, or JT, who we also know was averaging what 3 touchdowns a game or something crazy like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Offensive player of the year, front runner. You don't want him to kill you. No, I agreed. I mean, I think the game plan was right on for the Steelers. And I mean, I think that's why a lot of people were shying the Colts. And why I should have been. All right, that kind of recaps all the games that I wanted to talk about in a little bit more detail. I won't talk about my depressing Giants. I won't talk about what what was somewhat a surprising thriller, Jags Raiders that should have ended in a tie. But let me ask you this real quick about that Jags Raiders game. So um, game ends 30-29. Obviously, the Raiders scored late, have an opportunity to kick the extra point, tie the game, but instead they go for two. You like that a move by Pete Carroll?
I loved it. I loved it. You know we watched that game together, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, because Bauer scored when you kept talking about it. I love that. Okay, I love that he went for it.
The
You don't
goat.
really have anything to lose. You're not winning that division. Just go for it.
I mean, the only thing you have to lose is the game. But I mean, what's a tie?
Yeah. And I told you, remember, because I was like, Pete Carroll is going to throw a quick slant. But no.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
you did say
also
that.
called it, though. I called it with that receiver. I can't think of who it was at the moment, but he was wide open.
He was
He
right
was
open, right
wide open from the moment he lined up. I said, he's
in the
open.
back of the end zone. The pass got batted down.
Exactly. So
You
I'm
did
not
call it.
mad
Like
at it at
no,
all.
no
They
one's
could have
lining up
easily
over him.
won that game.
No, I like it too. I like the aggression. Go for the win, especially when you're the Raiders. And you're just looking for something positive, right? You're looking for something, and I'm I've never been involved in a tie in any sport level of sport that I played. Like tie. I mean, it's not as good as a win. It's not as bad as a loss, but like you're like it literally says that you guys are both mid. Like we tied.
Yeah, I
So
don't. I hate the league rule.
I get why they do it, right? Player safety deal. You don't want, but I mean, ties don't make
Um,
no sense, man. Ties don't make no sense. All right, let's get to everybody's favorite part of the show. Everybody's favorite part of the Tuesday show because people love the pick'em segment that we do on Thursday. But let's talk about power rankings. Let's talk power rankings. Quan loves them. He's ready to judge. I could tell he's leaning forward. He's in this element right now. It's like when he was playing Call of Duty and we needed him to clutch up. He'd lean forward in the chair
oh
and
yeah,
just go crazy, right?
now we're talking.
So just to remind everybody of the atrocious top 10 that was the top 10 last week. I don't even want to recap it, but I'm gonna because again, impartiality. That's my middle name. So from 10 to 1, Seattle at 10, Buffalo 9, the Broncos 8, Eagles 7, Packers 6, Lions 5, Patriots 4, Chiefs 3, Rams 2, Colts 1. Obviously, if you watched football last week or if you've been listening to the show thus far, that did not age very well. But don't worry. Hit the draft, went back to the what they call the drawing board or whatever. Went back, watched some all 22, grinded the all 22 film. Had to add the word film there because grinding the all 22 sounds crazy. Um, I felt like Coach Gruden and with the projector and the clicker,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rewinding film, looking at this, look at that. And here we go. Okay. Just outside, just missed it. Two teams missing it. Again, the Chargers just missed. Justin Herbert against playing at a high level, but to be in a game against the Tennessee Titans this year is insane. Um, not a great look. But I do like the move. They just traded, and I can't remember his name. They just traded for an offensive lineman because we got the news that Alt's going to miss the rest of the season. Killer for the
They're
Chargers,
done.
but
They're done
they go
now.
to address it. Um, I am a known Herbert hater, but he's been playing phenomenal. So I got to give them love. And then speaking of love, the Packers are out of the top 10. An absolutely
Wow.
atrocious loss at home against the Carolina Panthers. Jordan Love, where
Where were
art
they
thou, my
ranked?
friend? They were
6?
6-11. See you later. We're doing what's right, which means back in the top 10. And
The
I
Bill.
apologize for even forever kicking them out as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They didn't play, but the Packers' loss was so atrocious, and there was nobody else that I felt was worth or worthy of being in the top 10. They're going to be healthier coming out the bye. Now they can easily find themselves outside of this list because they have a tough game this week. You know who they play this week?
Yeah, they play the Patriots.
The New England Patriots. So
We
they can
cut it
find
out,
themselves on the
man.
outside.
I told you.
Um, Here's my thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right, if you look at the overall scoring offense, scoring defense, they have a mid offense and a mid defense, but they got a dog at quarterback in Baker Mayfield, and that does a lot for a team. When you believe that you can win every game you play because of the guy that you have under center, that is a lot for a football team. It even allows you to overcome Quan's favorite head coach, Todd Bowles. So I got the Buccaneers at 10. Um, Coming in at number 9, the Detroit Lions fall from grace. That is a tough loss at home to Minnesota, especially with all you had to
9?
gain. 9. You'll see why. You'll see why.
From where? 7?
Um, from 5, they got lit up by JJ McCarthy, who hadn't played in a while. Um, and really, their defense is what was concerning. Aaron Jones was having a really great game, but I believe he got hurt. Jordan Mason was having also had a good game. Their defense is suspicious, man. Even though uh, top 3 offense, the defense is middle of the pack, and we all know that. Hey, listen, offense wasn't their problem last year. I know they had a lot of injuries defensively, but a lot of those players are back, and their defense is still struggling. So they got to get that right. Coming at number 8, Quan, you're gonna love this. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. They fall from 3 to 8.
They had a
Tough
fall.
loss. They had to fall. People may be like, oh, maybe not that far. Well, listen, even though I just told you how I felt about the game, the fact is the result was the result. And Patrick played terrible. And there were other teams that performed well enough or did something during this past week that I felt just ranked over them this week. Do I think the Chiefs are going to be fine? Absolutely, I do. But it doesn't mean that they get to stay penciled in as a top 3 team. You have to prove that week over week. They're still a top 10 offense, top 3 scoring defense. Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in football. Not concerned about him, but they have to drop. At 7, another
You say
dropping
he's the
team.
best quarterback in football. You mean
He's
like
the best quarterback in football.
today?
Um,
Or are you talking
he's the
about
best
because
quarterback
of
in
his
football.
past?
No, I'm
So
taking
you
Patrick
can't.
Mahomes over any. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over everybody. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over everybody. Over Drake May, my guy. You cut it out. That's the only person you'd argue right now. So cut it out. This guy's
But I'm
crazy.
talking about right now, though. It's
Yes,
so
right
easy to
now.
get caught up in the accolades
No,
and
yes, right
the
now. Right now. He was the
okay.
MVP front runner going into this week. He still might be the MVP front runner. I haven't checked the
My
odds.
guy is leading in 2 major categories at quarterback.
Will you cut it out, man? This guy, man. Stop putting too much pressure on the team. At 7, the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not going to quit them after one bad performance in Indianapolis. That's against the Steelers. I'm not going to quit them. They're still the top offense in the league. They still have a top 10 defense. I do. I think the addition of Sauce makes them better this year. I do, even though I talked a bunch of about how I thought the Jets won the trade because I do think they won the long term. Obviously, getting a player in the short term helps you. Um, and I don't think a lot of teams are going to be able to stymie the run game like how Pittsburgh was able to. I think Shane Steichen is a great offensive mind. They'll figure out how to get JT more involved if people start stacking the box against them heavily, and I think they'll be all right. But they do have to
Sorry.
fall from that top spot because that was a 6 total turnovers, 5 of them by your quarterback. Looking a little giant. I saw the look in his face. They weren't even down that big, but you could tell he was flustered. I'm like, yep, there's the Giants, Daniel Jones. He's back. He was still in there somewhere, and the Steelers managed to find him. All right, number 6. Again, going against the grain because Quan gave me so much shit about this last week. The Eagles, they didn't play last week, but they did add during the trade deadline, which I like a lot. I thought pass rush was a place that they needed to address. Jalen Phillips from Miami is a great addition to that team. Of course, shoring up their defensive backfield with Michael Carter, who I watched a lot with the Jets, really good corner. And then let's see how much Jair Alexander plays, but how he continues to show why he's one of the best, if not the best, GMs in the league. And here comes the how much help does Jalen Hurts needs crowd. But listen, top 10 offense. Top 10
That was
offense.
gonna be me. So I said that. I said that. I said that in the group chat with Gmo because they was like, "Wow, everybody was giving Howie his flowers, rightfully so." And they're like, "Wow," and Gmo was like, "How Howie's probably the best GM in all of sports." And I was
Wow.
like, "Well, he probably is, and he has to be because he's smart enough to surround his mid quarterback with so much talent,
But he
which
paid
is
his
the right thing to
quarterback.
do."
But he paid his quarterback. So does that count against him?
Yeah, they
That's how you
paid
feel about
Sauce
Jalen.
too.
All right, moving on. So Eagles at 6. Here comes the top 5. Denver Broncos move up this week into the top 5, and this is begrudgingly, but their defense is just so fucking good, man. Now I get it; they're playing the Texans, but their offense looks so abysmal at times. Yet their defense keeps them in games, and we talk about this every week. We talk about the Broncos. When your defense is that good, it gives you a chance. It always gives you a chance to win games.
To
And
figure it
for
out.
whatever reason, whatever kind of witchcraft or voodoo that Sean Payton brought from New Orleans over, allows them to just make stuff happen in the fourth quarter. Like they just remember how to play offensive. Bo Nix remembers how to throw the ball. RJ Harvey was an absolute hit in the draft. He's phenomenal. Love the fact that they're incorporating him more in the offense. Of course, Dobbins is good, but Harvey is when they get the ball in his hands, he's explosive. He obviously paying dividends, especially for the fantasy owners that were able to get him. I know that was another guy that you called out when we were talking about running back tiers. I think you even had him in tier 3, tier 4 range. So
Yeah.
great call out by you. He's really starting to get burned on that offense, especially in the passing game. So Denver has to be top 5, in my opinion. 7-2, really impressive resume, and continue to stack the wins as their offense tries to figure it out. Coming in at 4, the Buffalo Bills. Great win by the Bills, of course, over the Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Allen puts on the Superman cape again. James Cook continues to roll.
What?
A top 5 offense, top 10 defense this season. Um, and the Bills they're obviously making
What
the
did you have
playoffs.
the
They're going to
Bills?
continue to
What
roll.
did you have the Bills prior to this week?
I had them at 9, man. But think about the teams that were in front of them. That's why the rankings were bad last week. The Packers were in front of them. Well, I don't think it was bad, but the Packers and the Lions, both those losses were bad. Chiefs, they just beat the Chiefs. So I got to move the Chiefs down. The Colts loss was bad. Just
If
give
the
it
Lions
time.
play the Bills right now, they're gonna smoke the Bills, bro.
No, I don't think so.
I'm
That
telling you
defense is
so.
bad, bro. The defense is bad. The
I'm
Detroit
telling
defense is
you.
just it's not good
I'm
enough.
telling
It's
you.
not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Coming in at 3, New England Patriots. They move up.
What?
They continue to move up. Top 10 offense and defense. Drake May, Quan, who Quan thinks is the best quarterback in football. Um, even with it's crazy to say that 109, I think it was the passer rating, is a below average game, but for Drake May standards this year, that's a below average game. The only thing that would, for some people, hold the because I still see the Patriots outside the top
There's a
10 in some power
schedule.
rankings. Right. And listen, you
Yeah.
can only play who you play, and they beat America's favorite team, the Buffalo Bills, in Buffalo in prime time. If that doesn't say enough, whatever. Forget about it. Tough game. It's going to be this will be a really good resume building type game at the Buccaneers in Tampa. So they go ahead and win this game. They're going to continue to climb. Number 2, Seattle
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah,
I knew
absolutely,
it.
man. Dominant win. JSN's the best wide receiver in the NFL this season. Their defense is incredibly elite. They go and add Rashid Shaheed. That offense is going to continue to climb as they figure things out. They have a game against the Cards coming up, so they should get another win. They're the best road team, undefeated on the road this season, which is extremely impressive. Um, and honestly, I'm not sure what the flaw is on the team. The only question you have is big game. Is Sam Darnold going to see ghosts? Well, you're going to have to wait and see until they play the Rams later in the season because that's going to be the big pressure point game or when they play the
So
Niners.
you got the Rams at number 1.
Rams at number 1. Pretty much
The
everything
Rams are
that
not
just
better than the Patriots right now, guys. You
the
kidding
Rams are
me?
better than the Patriots. Yeah, they are. They're both top 10 offenses. The Rams are top 3 defense.
The Rams just lost Puka again.
Doesn't matter, man. The addition of Devontae has obviously worked for them. Your boy
Doesn't
Ferguson.
matter that you lose Puka
No,
is wild talk.
they're fine. They're gonna be fine until he gets back. They're gonna be fine until he gets back. They're proven to continue to win. Everything I just said about Seattle applies to the Rams, except for the fact is that I shouldn't even say we trust that quarterback because I can't stand Matt Stafford. But that's from a fantasy perspective. Last season almost sold my entire championship aspirations.
Your undefeated season almost went away.
Well, nah, I lost early in the season because of Matt Stafford too. By the way, but yeah, the Rams are just dominant overall, and that is this week's power rankings. I'll run it back real quick from 10 to 1. Bucks at 10, Lions at 9, Chiefs at 8, Colts at 7, Eagles at 6, Broncos at 5, Bills at 4, Patriots at 3, Seattle at 2, Rams at 1. Perfect power rankings, if you ask me. Your thoughts?
It's much better. Not that it could have got any worse because those last week I was like, what is going on? You're like bye weeks. What? Second, I'm not mad at the Seahawks because they are balling out. Number 1 with the Rams, though, I don't know. I think I would choose the Seahawks right now, especially with acquiring Shaheed. I'm just being biased, but I'm definitely putting Patriots up there.
You putting what? So you'd rearrange it: Seattle 1, Rams 2. Sorry, Seattle 1, Pats 2, Rams 3. Is
Nope.
that what I'm hearing?
Patriots
No way you're
1,
putting the Patriots 1.
Seattle
Nah,
2. Why ain't
nah.
I? Why ain't I? We just talked about how they could win out the rest of the year.
Could. I'm talking about how they've looked so far, man. You tell me that the Patriots have looked better than Seattle? Better than the Rams?
Yeah. Because what did
Especially
you?
this
What
past
did?
week.
What?
Especially this
With
past week.
Gonzo out there? Yeah, with Gonzo out there.
Gonzo was getting cooked.
No, he wasn't.
Drake
No,
London,
he
that was a
wasn't. I
family
told
fish
you.
fry.
No,
He was
they
getting
put
everybody to work.
London. Huh?
That was a family fish fry. Everybody was getting to work.
Anyways, no, they're not. I like the coaching better.
Cooking
I
them
like
like
the
chowder,
quarterback
bro.
better. You gonna tell me
I
because
do
you
like the
just
coach
had
better.
your debate between the Seahawks and the Rams was the biggest was at the quarterback position.
Yeah, in
Right?
the big game, we don't have enough from Drake in big moments yet.
I do.
I know the one game in Buffalo.
I do.
One game is
I
enough for
do.
you.
I told you he has 3 older brothers, super competitive.
Yeah,
Those those
that draft day video was fire, bro.
those intangibles are different.
Nah, I get it. As someone who has older brothers, but that draft day video of them recreating that. Who's he talking? Were they talking about Grant Hill? Or were they talking about the Michigan shit? I don't remember off the top of my head, but that shit was fire. Drake May's a savage, man. He's playing like a stud. And if they continue to win and the Chiefs don't go off on a run, I don't know how he doesn't become MVP. I don't know how he doesn't win MVP other than bias because he's balling. He's balling. But
I know.
overall, team
There's another
wise,
way.
how?
The mafia.
Yeah, that's crazy. Seeing the voters are about to go, they're about to go full bill ups. Cheat your
The
boy out.
voter.
But yeah, the
To
people
get
who
him
vote for
out.
it, yeah, the people who vote for MVP. They gonna read it. They're gonna have like
Yeah.
they're gonna put ice in the envelope like
Absolutely.
for Ewing,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
ice in the envelope for the next card. Shit, crazy. Yeah, power rankings are lit, man. Power rankings are lit. I feel like these are gonna age much better. These are gonna age much
Yeah.
better.
I mean, they
No,
can't get worse, like I said. And I agree
don't
with
do
a
that.
good portion of it. I don't know how I feel
Listen,
about the Bills in the top five, though.
who would you put? Who underneath them?
Detroit.
Detroit can't be a can't even be above Kansas City. Kansas City smoked them. Kansas City
You're
smoked them.
going off. You can't do that. That's not how it works.
Also, I would take the Chiefs over the lines. Anyways, you already know that.
All right. What about Baltimore? I think Baltimore should have been an honorable mention.
Baltimore, they gotta
Yeah.
string some more wins together, man. They gotta string some more wins together, bro. They beat Miami, my guy. They beat my 28-6. That's come on, they beat Miami,
Convincingly.
guy.
You're tired of seeing these 7-point wins, these close
Miami,
wins.
Miami. I would have been more impressive if they beat NFA. Beat Miami,
Wow.
my guy. Not even. I'm not even talking about the Miami Hurricanes, who are kind of free falling right now. I'm talking about they beat the Dolphins. Come on, man. Come on. What are we talking about? No, I mean I have a feeling that Baltimore is going to make their way back into this. I mean, this could be good for them. Like we talked about, with Lamar coming back, they gotta treat every game like a playoff game, do or die game, anyways. So you're playing that football already now. Crazy. What's
Mhm.
crazy to think is that we're halfway through the season.
Yeah, that is
We
crazy.
are we are halfway through the season. So what I love to, not this show, but maybe on our Thursday show, is kind of give like our halfway through the year our updates, so we could do our normal game picks. But let's talk about all right, who we think is going to win the division from here on out. We could and then just repick kind of like how we did in the beginning of the year. Not saying we got to stray away from our picks, but based on what we've learned and what we know, I'd love to kind of get like mid-season evaluation and then who
Yeah,
we
we could
like
even
moving
do
forward.
mid-season awards like offensive player of the year,
Yep, MVP.
most
Yeah,
most injured.
most injured.
I feel like this
Most
year,
in,
I feel like this year has been nothing but injuries.
Bro, everybody's getting hurt. This guy just got hurt too. CJ concussion. He left the game. That game
Oh
could have
yeah,
ended different for Denver if he doesn't go out. Um, yeah, man, everybody. Yeah, but we'll make those predictions on the next show. Make our game predictions for week 10. That's crazy to say week 10 already. And we'll keep it rolling. But definitely let us know how you feel about the power rankings. Like I said, definitely better than last week. Um, Watching the games on Sunday, I'm like, man, Quan is gonna cook. He's gonna be in his
no,
bag.
you was ready to talk shit when Atlanta looked like they had an opportunity.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say anything.
You was
I
smart.
learned my lesson. I learned my
You was
lesson with
smart.
Cleveland. I jinxed Cleveland. My bad, Cleveland. The moment I said the defense is looking real, Drake May drops like 50 on you. So they must have intercepted that message. But man, let's wrap the show. Quan, appreciate you as always. Great show, great insight. Crazy. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. Matt looks like an NBA creative character coach who just had the center break his leg by getting crossed up by Benny the Bull.
Who said that?
My brother. Yo.
That is funny, yo.
NBA creative character coach is crazy.
Especially you got the mic on your hat and all that.
Halftime
That's
interview.
Vegas calling you in to take somebody out so they don't get the parlay.
Terry Rozier. Shout out our guy Terry. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I appreciate you hopping in. We about to wrap the show. Appreciate you. Everybody for man, don't tell me what to do. This guy.
Oh my gosh. This
guy.
I haven't slept in like 76 hours.
I have one bad ranking, and this guy thinks he can talk to me however he wants. Insane.
No.
Insane, man. Insane. Anyways, appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, think critically, speak infamously. It's love.